Welcome to this jaw-dropping video where the most unbelievable moments are captured on camera. Can you even imagine witnessing such incredible scenes? Brace yourselves for an adventure filled with awe, shock, and unforgettable surprises. Are you ready for what's coming? The spilled gasoline on the ground suddenly ignites in a burst of bright green, soft, yet dangerously hot. Isn't it fascinating how something so delicate can explode with such force? How quickly can something harmless turn into a terrifying spectacle? A group of kangaroos and a flock of ducks gather peacefully munching on the grass beside a house's fence. Isn't it amazing to see such harmony in nature? What deeper meaning can we take from this peaceful moment between wild creatures? The smooth white clouds float gently across the sky like soft ocean waves, only to be lit up by golden sunlight. How does nature create such beauty? Can we ever truly appreciate how stunning the sky can look when the sun and clouds collide? This adult goose stands tall on the sidewalk, its one leg a powerful symbol of resilience and survival. How has it endured the challenges of life? Isn't it incredible how much strength lies in its single leg? What can we learn from this bird's will to keep going? Children cheer with joy as they welcome the waste collectors, teaching them the importance of trash management. Isn't this a beautiful way to show kids the impact of their actions? Can we teach future generations to be as responsible with waste? The white weasel is in a panic, its head stuck in a paper cup, and its tail stands straight in fear. What must it be feeling? How vulnerable do creatures become when trapped in unexpected situations? Isn't it remarkable how they rely on us for help? The ship is placed right next to a market so close that vendors use the train tracks to store their goods. Can you imagine how tightly packed life can be? How do we even begin to separate the hum of industrial life from the everyday human hustle? Green branches are embedded in metal, sending bright electric sparks flying like tiny lightning bolts. How can something so simple release such raw power? Doesn't it make you wonder about the energy we take for granted? Every day. The garbage collector gently takes the hand of an elderly woman, guiding her to her door with a quiet, beautiful act of kindness. Isn't this a moment that proves humanity's strength is in its compassion? How often do we see such small, life-changing acts? A train speeds down the track, its cargo full of heavy military tanks. Can you feel the weight of the moment as it rattles by? How much power does it take to move something so massive? Is it a wonder how machines like this can conquer vast distances? A forest fire rages, turning the landscape a fiery yellow with embers flying from the trees. Can you feel the heat rising from the flames? Isn't it terrifying how quickly the world around us can be consumed by the fury of fire? Along the road, piles of household waste line the street, and a bulldozer is called in to clear it all away. How can we let such a mess accumulate? What must we do to prevent these disasters from overwhelming us? How much longer can we ignore the impact on the environment? A wildfire drives deer to flee in panic, searching desperately for an escape. Can you imagine their fear racing against time? What happens when nature's fire destroys everything in its path? How do animals react to nature's deadly wrath? A slow-moving lava flow cascades down the mountain, mesmerizing onlookers with its destructive beauty. How do you capture the power of nature in a single frame? Isn't it humbling to witness Earth's raw energy in its most destructive form? A fierce storm is in full swing with rain pouring down and winds howling, forcing everyone outside to seek shelter behind columns. Can you feel the pressure of nature pushing against the human world? How long can we withstand such fierce power? In the supermarket, a water cooler wobbles as a man in a white shirt tries to steady it, but it's too late. The bottles crash to the ground in a chaotic mess. Doesn't it make you think about how fragile our world is when the smallest things fall apart? After the flood, the river swells with brown, murky water, swallowing everything in its path, including the ferry's roof as it drifts beneath the bridge. How fast does the world change when disaster strikes? Can we ever prepare for nature's unpredictable wrath? From the top of the rocky cone, smoke pours out like steam from a pressure cooker. Can you feel the heat and pressure building up in the earth? How close is the world to an eruption when pressure rises uncontrollably? The storm arrives bringing massive waves and gusts of wind, battering the shore while trees sway violently in the air. How does it feel to witness such destructive power? Is there any force more overwhelming than nature's fury? A turtle helps another climb over the pen, showing perfect teamwork in action. Can you feel the beauty in this simple yet powerful act of cooperation? What can we learn from animals when they show us the meaning of teamwork? This skilled skydiver soars gracefully over treetops and mountain peaks, making it seem like the easiest thing in the world. How does it feel to experience such freedom? Can you imagine the rush as they glide over nature's breathtaking beauty? A man watches helplessly as white crates are blown away by the wind, tumbling wildly across the ground. Can you feel the frustration of watching everything slip through your fingers? How often do we feel powerless in the face of nature's whims? A sandstorm envelops everything, turning the world into a hazy yellow, with sand blowing everywhere. Have you ever seen a storm so overwhelming that it erases the landscape? How much of the world can nature take back? In a single moment. A man climbs massive stone steps carved into the side of a mountain. How determined must he be to face such a climb? Can you imagine the sense of achievement when you reach the top? A steel crane from the construction site falls directly onto a tall building. Can you feel the earth-shaking force of the crash? How easily can everything we build come crashing down when faced with the might of these machines? The tornado's narrow tip touches the ground, its fierce winds surrounding the shopping center, lifting debris into the air. Can you feel the power of the storm as it sweeps everything in its path? How quickly can everything you know be taken away? Thank you so much for watching until the end. Did these unbelievable moments leave you in awe? Stay tuned for more incredible footage, because there's always more to discover in the wild world around us. A crystal-clear lake is surrounded by majestic mountains, but at its center lies a giant circular hole, like a giant straw sucking in the water relentlessly. Can you fathom such a mysterious force at work beneath the serene surface? What secrets does the lake hold? The Eiffel Tower glows brilliantly against the night sky when suddenly a bolt of lightning strikes its peak in electrifying spectacle. Have you ever seen such a stunning clash of nature and monument? What a breathtaking, unforgettable moment caught in time. A man jumps into the river for a refreshing swim, but immediately the water around him glows with eerie blue bioluminescence. Isn't that terrifying and beautiful at once? What mysterious life could be lighting up the depths below his feet? The coastal town is blanketed under a gloomy cloud-filled sky as fierce winds bend tall trees and flutter the national flag. Can you feel the charged tension in the air? What storm might be brewing to shake this peaceful place? A dog and a woman walk across land slowly being covered by falling snowflakes, while the biting cold wind blows relentlessly. Isn't this a perfect moment of quiet companionship amid the harshness of winter? Can you feel the chill mixed with warmth? A white truck stands abandoned at an intersection left through storms and nights perhaps resting after endless work days. Can you imagine the stories it holds? What silent witness has it been to the world? Rushing past. Heavy raindrops fall onto the lake, sounding more like hard objects crashing down from the sky than gentle water. Have you ever heard rain with such force? What stories do these pounding drops tell about the storm above? A young man stops to watch a giant tree sway violently in the wind before it uproots and crashes across the road. Can you feel the power and finality of nature's will? Have you ever witnessed such a sudden end? To towering strength. The rescue boat approaches a sinking, heavy ship lost in the vast ocean, racing against time to save the remaining souls before the deep swallows them whole. How desperate and heroic is this fight? Can hope prevail over the merciless sea? Changing climate drives millions of tiny crabs to scramble and crowd the road, trampling over each other chaotically. Have you ever seen such frantic life? How does nature respond when its balance is disturbed so wildly? A mountain stream cascades downwards, surrounded by winter's icy white blanket. The pristine wilderness untouched by man. Isn't this nature's purest beauty? Can you hear the peaceful murmur beneath the frost? People swim in the crystal clear sea when suddenly a dolphin darts in to greet them, inviting all to its watery home. How magical is this joyful encounter? What can we learn from these playful ambassadors of the ocean? With its colossal weight, a massive billboard is toppled by fierce wind, crashing down in the crowded town center. Have you ever seen such sudden destruction in the heart of civilization? How powerless are we when nature unleashes its fury? Raging river currents force boats and ships into chaotic collisions, pushing them toward a bridge. Can you sense the looming disaster? How quickly calm waters can become a swirling vortex of danger. A stray ball from a neighbor's yard hits the control switch of a garden vehicle, causing it to crash into everything nearby. How quickly fun can turn to chaos. Have you ever seen such innocent mischief cause a cascade of trouble? A man aims to photograph a fish on his hand, but mistakes his phone for the fish and tosses it into the sea. A hilariously foolish mistake. Haven't we all had moments of comic confusion? How often do we laugh at our own? Multiple container trucks maneuver skillfully to avoid collisions on a narrow road. Isn't this dance of giants thrilling to watch? How much skill and nerve does it take to navigate such a perilous path? A pod of whales swims gracefully in the deep blue sea, their natural beauty captivating all who see them. Can you feel the awe of witnessing such majestic creatures? What secrets do they hold in the vast ocean? A clever black cat stretches his paw through a paw-shaped hole to unlock the door and escape. Isn't this the perfect mix of intelligence and curiosity? How often do pets surprise us with their clever tricks? Unfolding before you. The white snake twists and turns with the grace of flowing water, each scale rolling smoothly on the purple velvet, alive and flexible, despite never leaving its spot. Isn't it mesmerizing how something so delicate can be so vibrant? A thick, white, viscous liquid flows down a golden dirt road like a supernatural phenomenon. What could this strange substance be? Doesn't it look like a scene from another world? A massive sinkhole opens in the road, breaking underground water pipes and swallowing trees above a man-made disaster unfolding. Can you imagine the sudden chaos caused? How fragile is the ground beneath our feet? Street food customers scramble to escape as a powerful gust blows tables and chairs everywhere. Have you ever been caught in such sudden panic? How quickly fun can turn into frenzy. A severe forest fire breaks out, and planes drop pink retardant chemicals to contain the blaze. Can you feel the desperation in this fight against nature's fury? How crucial is human intervention in these battles?
Can you imagine the shock? when a colossal wave, thick and fast like a rolling water wall, suddenly surged toward the shore. The panic was instantaneous, people running for their lives as seawater flooded the streets like an unstoppable beast. Have you ever witnessed nature unleash such raw fury? Right before your eyes. Look at this deer calmly drinking the sweet water. Wait! Did you see that lightning-fast reaction? It sensed danger and leapt away just in time, escaping the snapping jaws of a vicious crocodile. Isn't it amazing how survival instincts kick in with such intensity? Would you believe life can hang on a single heartbeat? Without any hesitation, two lively dogs launched themselves at the garbage worker, wagging tails wildly and licking his face with pure joy. Isn't it heartwarming how such simple, spontaneous moments can fill even the toughest days with happiness? Don't you wish we all could feel this kind of unconditional love? Under the fiery sunset, a massive flock of birds appeared like a flowing dark mist, drifting gracefully through the sky. Doesn't their synchronized flight look like a perfectly choreographed dance? Have you ever felt awe watching nature's beauty move with such harmony and power? Driven by survival, a desperate weasel slipped into a trash bin seeking food, but tragedy struck when it became trapped inside. Doesn't this heartbreaking moment make you wonder about the hidden struggles of wildlife? How often do we miss the quiet cries for help around us? The flamingos emerge as soft pink streaks, gently painting the clear water's surface with dreamy hues. Isn't this natural artwork breathtaking? Have you ever Imagine a river of molten lava, glowing bright red like the Earth's burning blood, thick and slow, like honey, swallowing everything in its path. Trees, roads, even steel machines. How powerful and terrifying is this force? Can you feel the unstoppable rage of nature's fury coursing through the ground? Joyful tunes burst forth from hard-working garbage collectors, bringing life and rhythm to their daily toil. Isn't it inspiring how music and laughter brighten even the busiest, hardest work? Don't you think their efforts deserve more recognition and appreciation? His frustration boiled over. As the stubborn machine refused to cooperate. Without hesitation, he angrily threw it aside. Have you ever been so furious at technology that you just wanted to give up? Can you feel the raw emotion and helplessness? Boiling inside him, rows of trash bins formed an odd, perfect square surrounding a parked car like an unexpected fortress. Doesn't this strange sight make you curious about the story behind it? Have you ever stumbled upon a scene so oddly precise yet mysterious? The young woman had no choice but to abandon her sleek sports car when an unstoppable train thundered toward her. Can you imagine the terror that froze her in place? Have you ever faced a moment where time seemed to stand still? A Boeing caught fire just moments after takeoff, thick smoke billowing as emergency crews rushed to the scene. Isn't witnessing disaster and rescue happening simultaneously terrifying yet hopeful? How quickly could you react in such a life or death crisis? Bold and fearless, the man in black ignored warnings and crossed the tracks just as the train barreled near. Was it recklessness or courage? Can you feel your heart pounding with every daring step he takes? On a bustling boulevard filled with cars, a small private plane suddenly lost control and plunged onto the street. Have you ever imagined the chaos and disbelief that would cause? What would you do if you saw something so surreal unfold? A massive chunk of ice broke free and crashed into the ocean, sending roaring waves and white spray everywhere. Isn't it awe-inspiring and terrifying how something so silent can unleash such force? Have you ever felt nature's raw power? Shake you to your core? After the storm, the peaceful town lay buried under murky sand trees and roads swallowed by Earth's angry blanket. Doesn't the sheer destructive power of nature leave you breathless? How fragile does humanity seem when faced with such wrath? Fierce winds whipped dust branches and debris into a chaotic spiral swirling through the air like a wild, tempestuous dance. Can you see the violent beauty in this storm's fury? Doesn't it remind you of life's unpredictable? Twists and turns, a lonely boat adorned with glowing LEDs floated quietly on the city lake until a sudden gust pushed it dangerously toward the shore. Have you ever felt calm shatter in a heartbeat? How fragile can peace really be? The winding mountain road twists and curls like a serpent, daring even the best drivers to conquer its sharp turns. Have you ever felt the rush of testing your limits? What would you... Above the house, waves of shimmering blue light rolled gently across the sky like a scene from a sci-fi epic. Doesn't this surreal glow make you question reality? Have you ever wished to step inside a dreamlike world? Floodwaters surged into a tunnel carrying countless white stones in a relentless torrent. Can you feel the unstoppable force squeezing through this narrow space? How would you react if trapped in such a watery prison? Sailors braced against the raging ocean, fighting waves that threatened to swallow their ship whole. Doesn't their courage inspire awe and respect? Have you ever witnessed true human grit? Battling nature's wrath, the volcano erupted violently, spewing molten rock high into the sky like a fire hose unleashed with terrifying power. How mesmerizing and intense is that unstoppable force? Can you imagine standing close enough to feel its heat? With crushing force, the massive ship slammed into the crane, sending it crashing into the water. Have you ever seen such raw impact? Doesn't it remind you how fragile man-made structures are against sheer power? A hailstorm battered a car's windshield, relentlessly shattering glass with icy fury. Can you feel the shock and helplessness in that moment? How ruthless and unpredictable can weather be? A white car narrowly escaped collision with a speeding ship slipping through just in time. Isn't it amazing how split-second decisions can save lives? How would you handle such a heart-stopping moment? The precision and speed of a Formula One tire change are breathtaking, pure teamwork and skill under pressure. Doesn't watching such flawless coordination thrill and inspire you? How much dedication hides Thousands of deer lined up in formation, beginning their epic migration journey. Isn't it breathtaking to witness such determination and unity? Have you ever felt connected to the grand rhythms of nature? Thank you for watching until the end. Which moment shocked or amazed you the most? Did these unbelievable scenes stir your emotions? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more jaw-dropping stories. Stay curious and keep exploring the wonders around you.
Imagine a fearless little cane standing its ground, boldly confronting a massive grizzly that dared step onto its owner's territory. Can you feel the tension? Who would have thought such a tiny creature could stand up to such a giant? Isn't it incredible how courage knows no size? What started as playful teasing suddenly exploded into fierce protection. This dog attacked in a flash because someone dared mess with its beloved owner. Have you ever seen loyalty turn into such fiery defense? Doesn't this remind us how deep the bond between pets and humans? Really is. High above the ground, workers assemble towering poles facing constant danger from dizzying heights and heavy machinery. Can you imagine the courage it takes to work in such perilous conditions every day? Isn't their bravery something we should all respect deeply? The sudden arrival of a wild black bear at a gas station sent everyone fleeing in fear. Can you imagine the shock and panic in that moment? How would you react if a huge wild animal showed up in your daily path? Isn't nature's unpredictable? With a massive load shifting behind the truck's front wheels, lifted off as it lost control on the construction site. Can you feel the sudden rush of panic in the driver's chest? How quickly can disaster strike when weight and balance are out of sync? While renovating a city drainage ditch, the excavator struck a water pipe, causing a muddy fountain to spray high tangling and power lines above. Have you ever witnessed such chaos erupt from a simple accident? Doesn't this remind us how fragile urban systems are? really are? The driver of a three-wheeled vehicle struggled as his axle broke, making the wheels wobble dangerously on the road. Can you sense the tension as control slips away? How would you stay calm in such a shaky, unpredictable situation? Just a tiny mistake sent the three-wheeler roaring forward unexpectedly, but luckily no one was hurt. Have you ever experienced how a split-second error can turn into a near disaster? Doesn't this make you appreciate the thin line between safety and chaos? Watch as the man uses nothing but his legs to firmly hold a metal pipe, determined to cut it perfectly. Isn't it amazing what human strength and focus can achieve? Have you ever been so dedicated to mastering a task against all odds? The forklift driver recklessly slammed into an iron post, violently tossing himself from the seat. Can you imagine the shock and pain of such a careless accident? How often do we underestimate the dangers of machinery? Around us. A motorcycle smoothly halted on the road, patiently waiting as a snake crossed. Isn't it astonishing to see respect for wildlife in everyday moments? Have you ever paused in your busy life to honor nature's small journeys? The boat captain expertly maneuvers a tiny canal flanked by thick greenery, speeding with impressive control. Can you feel the thrill of such precise navigation? How much skill does it take to master such a challenging path? Against a backdrop of blue sky and golden sun, colorful clouds swirl mysteriously, mixing whites with dazzling hues. Doesn't this breathtaking display make you wonder about nature's endless creativity? Have you ever felt inspired just by watching the sky? Risking it all, the black off-road vehicle splashes boldly through a raging flood river. With sheer skill and experience, it conquers the challenge. Can you sense the adrenaline pumping through the driver's veins? Would you dare take on such a daring feat? A clever monkey effortlessly picks a hotel room lock, sneaking inside to raid the fridge, then relaxes on the balcony like a true tourist. Isn't it wild to see such cunning and charm in a wild animal? Have you ever caught a glimpse of nature's unexpected? Mischief. Thin ice sheets on the river's surface are lifted like fragile needles by the boatman's paddle shimmering in the sunlight. Can you picture this delicate dance between man and nature? Doesn't this quiet moment evoke a profound sense of wonder? Thick, pristine ice layers are crushed and cracked beneath the heavy passage of a ship. Can you hear the ominous cracking and feel the immense power at work? How fragile and temporary do these frozen wonders suddenly seem? The woodsman triumphantly harvests a massive golden honeycomb, dripping with thick, sweet honey, the earth's liquid gold. Isn't nature's generosity astonishing? Have you ever tasted the sweetness of such a rare and precious gift? The black dog's excitement is palpable as it stands atop a bridge, watching a speeding train zoom by below. Can you sense the pure joy and fascination radiating from this furry adventurer? Doesn't it remind you to find wonder? In the small moments. Overloaded and stressed, a sand-dredging ship's hull bends and cracks, slowly sinking into the river. Can you feel the terrifying weight pushing it down? How easily can human activity be overwhelmed? By nature's limits. Two massive ships, one black and one red, collide lightly while sailing opposite each other, but the force pushes both violently into the riverbank. Isn't it shocking how even a small impact can cause great damage? How careful must captains be navigating such narrow waterways? Passengers watch anxiously as their ship leans dangerously, threatening to capsize into the deep ocean. Can you imagine the rising panic and helplessness on board? How strong must the crew be to keep everyone safe in such moments? A towering iron container crane collapses, suddenly crashing down like soft blocks of wood. Doesn't this dramatic fall leave you breathless? How precarious can even the mightiest structures be? Huge waves crash violently against moored speedboats, tossing them like toys in white foam. Can you hear the roar and feel the chaos? How fragile is calm when nature unleashes its fury? A heavy cargo ship laden with countless containers leans sharply and slams against the shore. Can you imagine the deafening crash and the tension in the crew? How dangerous is transporting such massive loads? With its colossal size, one ship bulldozes a smaller vessel ahead, spinning it helplessly on the water surface. Isn't the raw power on display almost frightening? How vulnerable are smaller boats in these waters? The front half of a truck dangles precariously off a ship's edge, a terrifyingly fragile scene. Can you feel the suspense hanging in the air? How quickly could disaster strike if anything shifts? An old train, weathered and rusty, slowly creeps along its tracks like a tiny moving house. Doesn't it hold stories of countless journeys? How nostalgic does this slow futuristic engineering. Inside an underground cave, layers of deep blue paint-like hues glow mysteriously, nature's own masterpiece. Can you feel the magic and mystery in this hidden world? How many secrets does our planet still hold beneath its surface? A powerful avalanche of snow and ice tumbles down rocky mountain peaks, blanketing everything below in white. Can you imagine the unstoppable force and sudden silence after such a rush? How humbling is nature's overwhelming power? A man boards a high-speed train, bringing along his loyal dog and charming ducks as traveling companions. Isn't it heartwarming to see such friendship on the move? How often do we forget to share adventures? With those we love. A whirlwind lifts dust, trash, and debris high into the air, swirling rapidly and spreading everywhere across the land. Can you picture this chaotic dance of destruction? How uncontrollable and wild can storms become? Behold this rusty, aged train, its iron frame worn by time embodying the beauty of history itself. Doesn't it make you feel connected to a past era? How many stories might these old rails tell? If they could speak. Thank you for watching till the end. Which moment shocked you the most or touched your heart? Did these wild and wonderful scenes inspire you? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more unbelievable stories. Stay curious and keep exploring the extraordinary.